Right. Hello everyone. Tell me if the sound is a bit too loud. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it down. Hopefully you can hear it. Alright, so last time I think I streamed, we're working on that castle. And that was quite a bit of time ago, I think a week or two. And since then, we've made a lot of progress, actually. See there, we have quite better view now. I think that is a bit more interesting. A lot more details and everything, so quite nice. Yeah, show it a little bit. But you watch it again, or if you go back to the beginning of the stream, you can enjoy it. It's recorded on YouTube later. Hopefully you can hear me right. I tend to forget to turn on my mic. Yeah, okay, it's working. But so we fully finished actually the courtyard. Let me just set that. Yeah. And so there's something quite nice right there. A lot of details, a lot of space to do stuff too. It's important in your design to not over encumber scenes, especially big scenes. Like it would be easy to add details everywhere. What we like to do is that instead of adding a lot of props everywhere, we just make nice ground textures. If you make proper ground textures, like you can see on this wall, it compensates a bit the fact that there is less objects there. We just put a few like crates here and stuff like that here, like you can see sacks and like a sword and little stuff like that. But you know, it's walls, they're not supposed to be filled with stuff. So working on the ground texture and adding details like that is a good way to break repetition and add something interesting. And so yeah, quite big. Quite nice too, I think. And it looks finished like that, but actually if you go behind it, you can see that there is still a good portion of it, I'll say like 15%, that still needs to be done. We could work on that, or we can work on some interiors. I think I'll wait for people. Oh, can't hear you over the music. Perfect. All right, should be better. I'm maxed on my microphone, so normally sound should be better there. But yeah, I'm probably gonna work a little bit on this tower and do some interiors today. Hopefully it's gonna be interesting. The latest thing I did is... Shit, I need to go out of... The latest thing I did today is the bathroom, actually, which is typical in the medieval era to have like a place where people took bath, and it's more of a communal activity actually. They were used to take baths with other people, and it was a social stuff. And well, to some extent, some public baths turned into brothels a little bit, and then it led to a lot of health issues. But that's over quite a long period of time that it evolved into that. But during Middle Ages, people were actually quite clean, you know. All right, so we did that today with I think quite some success. Tell me if you like it, right? And so now what we need to do, it's a good question. We have started to do a sort of a greenhouse right there. Quite nice too. And then there we have like the tower, and then the captain's quarter. Could do that, a captain's quarter, maybe like so it's a bedroom to captains there, but it's quite big actually, so it's going to be something of an office, or we're going to need to modulate that space here because it's a bit big. I think we could work on this place. In French we call that capitainerie. I don't know if it makes sense in English. It's the place where the captains do their business stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. And damn, seems that door is actually quite in the ground now. Might need to alleviate that issue because it's right there. I can that and that. So now it's a bit more normal. Just have work out with it. Yeah, like that. Okay, perfect. So that's the issue with castles, right? Is that a lot of the time big castles like that, they have a lot of different heights. You know, in these ancient times, they had quite precise measurement tools. But in the end, when you grow castle over time, you add stuff on top of the other, and that's the idea there, is that you can see the growth where one tower grew on top of the other and something like that. And so a lot of time you end up with those half levels there that you can kind of see. And so you have a lot of spaces that are intermediary or like at weird levels and stuff like that. But it makes for interesting builds if you leave to yourself enough room to do so. So yeah, I think today we're going to do the office of the captain. It's like the guards captain has a private office, and there it's like a dinner room. So you see we've put bookmarks everywhere. Those green indicators are actually bookmarks. You can see there. You can see them actually. Boop, 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 boop. You can see there, and you can see that we have actually 60 bookmarks. And so you can pick anyone and go to a different place, which is quite nice actually. You just zoom around the castle that way, and we've started to populate those spaces, as you can see, with different stuff depending on what you need. We try to be quite realistic with what's in a castle, where is it located, and stuff like that, to try to mix quite some realistic castle with obviously a fantasy setting. So we said we were going to do that right there. All right. So captain's room, yeah. What does it need? So people are coming that way, so probably if we do something quick, we do a desk, like a big desk or something like that. So coming here, or do we use another type of wood? It's quite hard to use another type of wood because it's probably not going to fit very well. Could use that. You see, color-wise, it should be interesting to. I like to make contrast, but it's not very nice. Or I could use those little guys. With them like that. But it's more of a counter that way, and I definitely want a desk situation. All right, so give me some time to get in the groove of building. I just came back from my sport, so I'm a bit washed up. I need to enter the zone, and then it's all good, right? So I want to do a nice desk which, you know, fits and stuff like that. Perhaps that's the issue right now. I feel in TaleSpire, like some of those furniture are quite hard to create. Or they tend to look a bit samey, so you need to play a lot with what's provided to you. And if you see me looking around, it's because I'm using the selection tool. So I'm just going to grab something somewhere else. And I'm not putting it out. I'm just making a copy out of it. And it's easier. It's faster for me to work that way because I'm just copying stuff and very quickly because I know where everything is, basically. So I could do that like that a little bit. My concern is that it's going to be in the floor a bit too much. we have? Yeah, yeah, it's definitely in the floor too much. Hmm. Something I've done about walls is having 2 layers of walls. Yeah, you can do 2 layers of walls. Helps a lot, and we have that in some occasion. Like right there, we have 2 layers of walls, and we use that to create depths. So there, it's useful. I also have 2 layers of wool there to hide some stuff because I don't want it to protrude on the other side. So having 2 layers is quite nice, especially on this side. There, I can add a lot of details with this technique, but it makes for quite thick wool, which in a medieval castle will make sense. Walls and fortification should be plain stone, and they can go up to 12 meter of like thickness when they are built to prevent from cannonballs and stuff like that. But to avoid too many assets, and just because for the sake of it in TaleSpire we try to avoid doing that. Well, I do try to avoid it because it's just fun. It's a bit wasteful in terms of performances and how many assets I place. We could do something like that, or I could grab perhaps a sign, right? Do something like that. Be looking interesting. Yeah, I think it's working, right? It's better already. And then you can grab the table to do drawers. That one. I don't really like it by itself because it looks very clean and plasticky compared to the newer assets. And before, also during the beta, it used to open. You could open the drawer. Not that, like, I think everyone forgot about it, but it was just a nice feature to have. So I don't know. I quite like this handle right there, but it's a bit like I always ask my question: is it really adding something to the whole ordeal? And there, the effect is probably a bit too subtle. Just gonna use that everywhere. It's not a very comfy office. I'll give you that. You cannot put a chair under the desk. So right there. This small chair though. So can we get something like that, or is it a bit too much? I think it works. So all right. We have. I like that wood. I would like to make it. We have something else that's that color. And just to add some detailing like that. Then we do something like that. Just makes it a bit more interesting. I like to do rims and edges, so you see it a lot on like the corner of houses and stuff like that. There can sit on all my actually walls and everything. So in each corner I put it this a bit whitish or actually like lighter in color wood, so it makes it easier to see angles and everything, and so it pops out that you have in the 3D space a definition of angles. How long have you been building on TaleSpire for? So let me check. So I have actually on Steam 1,346 hours. So almost 14,000 hours of building in TaleSpire. So I play too, but I spend most of my time building. So I would say that there is probably more than 100 hours playing, of course, but most of that is building. As you can see, I have like over 1,200 hours purely building for sure. And I love it. I really love it. You can check my TaleSpire profile, Istallri, and I have like hundreds of slabs now, which is I'm very proud of. So, all right, so we have a chair there. The Windows perhaps. So it needs to be something a bit official. So I'm probably gonna add some stuff to the walls, like that. So just put it there quickly, and then I don't know if I have the room to put a big ass statue in there. And I don't think so, but just the little one. So you see, because I know where assets are, I don't have to open my library. I can just grab it from everywhere. Like I grab this wood and everything. For me, it's much easier. It's maybe not for everyone, but definitely I find it very easy to work that way. That because you build it, you remember where everything is to a certain degree, and it's also good to reuse assets to have coherence in your builds. Like you try to build patterns, right? You want stuff to repeat, because when you do it once, it can be a mistake, it can be a good idea. When you do it twice, it can be a mistake, can be a good idea. But when you start to repeat it more and more, it becomes a pattern, and patterns mean intention, and it's a good sign. Often people like it. That I can do probably just the 2 swords like that. It just looks nice. Only got 100 hours, and I'm still trying to get better at building. I find taking apart other people's board teaches me way more than I'd learned from just building my own boards. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. You know, I have my favorites builders too, or I just always scout also new builders, because you never know. Someone's better than you is always coming. So I'm always careful about watching the space with new people, because someone's going to come up with an amazing idea that I will never think of, and they're going to be amazing. So always watch out for that. Like in French we say veille concurrentielle. I don't know how that translates in English, but it's basically watching out for concurrence all the time. So you're making sure that you're not being outpaced. And Jan is saying Istallri is the TaleSpire king. So thank you very much. I think we're multiple kings, right? There is Genghis, there is Psibaba, there is Demongun, there is Koronor, and there is probably a lot of other people that I forget, like the main guys that do very impressive builds. But there is also time to type just a little bit that's just so neatly made, that's just so lovely. And this build is around, I'd say not that many hours. It's probably nearing, and we're 2 people working on this, but it's probably nearing around 30 to 40 hours. We've not really kept track on this one, but it's not that much. It actually goes quite fast once you're in it, and we take our time. You know, this build is really for me to. When you do a build, there is 2 types of. Either you try to output something fast, or you just work on it to find new ideas, right? You just tamper with it and try to see what sticks, what works, what's interesting. And so the thing here is that every time you see an orange wall, it means that it should be replaced with the new assets. So there, like the orange stairs mean that they're part of the blockout. The blockout is just like the big shape of the building there. And so we replace it after with all the details. So apparently here I had forgotten to swap that. What was that French phrase again? Veille concurrentielle was that French phrase, which is, I have no idea how to say veille in English. Like in that meaning, it's a bit weird. I need to do some proper research into each of the big boards creator. Yeah, do so. Like you go on TaleSpire, for example, and you filter by number of likes or number of downloads, stuff like that, and or just number of slabs made. You know, if someone's really prolific, and you probably have plenty of interesting results to go through. And each one has its own style, which I think is great. It's really the best thing you can do, is that develop your own style, like what you do. Try to copy people. Obviously, you learn by copying, but just don't be stupid about it. Try to learn from copying. I think it's the best way to make it work. I think I want a rack of weapons. So what we've created actually is this whole stuff, a bazaar, bordel, in French, of stuff we can just grab like that. Like I can just copy that, and it's like brushes or stuff we can just quickly copy and paste everywhere. It's stuff, generic stuff like, you know, barrels and stuff like that. And they're already put with 2 barrels and a little like shenanigan on top and everything. So it helps a lot with quickly populating spaces. So there I'm just gonna put it right there, for example, like twice. And then the idea is that you create variations around it. So you make it more interesting. And by making it more interesting and adding details and stuff like that, that's how you break the repetition. And this one I won't change because I have the same one somewhere else, but it's so far away that by the time you go there, you don't really realize it. But I just need to make sure that the one next to it, it's not the same. Would look a bit weird. But you don't need to do a lot of differences. You can just quick stuff a little bit and quickly. Shit, I lost my dagger. Actually, a knife. And quickly you'll have some nice variations. So I put that there. Papers. Here, and then you have papers like stuck to the wall. It's perfect. And here I'm just gonna continue to add some weapons. I like to have the weapons that are horizontal, so you can just like put them like they've been stuck by someone. There, I'm just gonna put some better looking weapons too. If it's the place of the captains and everything, they have their proper armor and better looking stuff. Maybe not too much that one. I think there's Zweihander. Yeah, I would love to display that nicely. Perhaps you can see it in the statue. And then, and if you want people to notice it, right? Because there it's a bit black, it's a bit dark. So always go back to no light, and then you try to find something to just make it shine a bit better. You could put that right on top of it. It's not very middle agey, but it looks very nice. But I'd say it's a bit too much from my taste. So now the idea is just play with light and find something that works. So on top of it, you see it's not very lighting it enough. I could put just a candle right there. Maybe doing something more ceremonial like that would be interesting. Now it's looking already a little bit better. Hello everyone. I see that we normally should have 16 people watching the stream, which is amazing to me because I never stream, so I'm already happy with one person. Don't hesitate to ask questions. I'm not really efficient when I'm streaming because I'm talking all the time and try to be entertaining. It's apparently what you're supposed to do when you're a good streamer, which I'm definitely not. So okay, so people come in here, they see all those nice weapons and stuff like that. And so then you have the office of, I think cupboards and stuff like that would be nice behind him. Like storage and stuff like that. And then you have a big bulletin board. To do a bulletin board, what I do is that I take the biggest. Yeah, perfect. I take the biggest painting and you put it. So I could put 2, I think. Cool enough. Yeah, like that works. Perfect. And then It's a bit tricky. It's not optimal. So you can either grab some paper and with the rolls like that, the parchemin, I don't know in English, you can add some details like that, like if you would hang keys or stuff like that. So I like to do that. Would love to have a big key item. I don't know if we can make that up with something. We have a chain, actually. We have chains, right? Yeah. A bit dark. Yeah, chain not very useful there. Skull. No. Yeah. Streaming is very. I think that people that stream daily and are able to maintain that momentum and just being so fresh all the time is very hard. The other thing I did streaming wise was a 12-hour streams for the release of the beta of TaleSpire. I was dead by then. I just like my brain was mush. And I'm used to talking all day. That's what I do for a living, basically. So it was quite hard to maintain. What I would not give to have a vertical piece of paper that I could just put in there, like it would be a shit or something. But alas, we'll have to do with that. I don't know if we have like something that would act like a sheet of paper that would be upright. Yeah, why not? Hopefully it's not sticking out on the other side of the wall, because that's always a bummer. I think they can have a nice book, an open book, like they're supposed to be a smart guy if they're a captain. I've done 20-hour streams as well. It can be very fun, but sort of by then. Yeah, when you have a good momentum and people are asking a lot of questions, it's amazing. And that was the case with the TaleSpire thing, right? Because it was new and a lot of people did not have access because I was streaming just before the release on TaleSpire. So a lot of excitement and questions, and I loved it, but it was really hard. And people were a bit bummed out at the time because actually the release was delayed. So yeah, a bit of a bummer that one, but still very good time. What do you do for work? I'm a sales. Basically, I sell stuff to people. And so, yeah, I took all the time to do that, basic sales stuff. So, little tip, if you want to do a nice cupboards or like shelf, stuff like that, you can just stick that night shelf or stuff like that in it this way, and then you can grab your mirrors and you can do, I think, that, and it makes for like a cabinet that can close, right? And you could even take a bit further like that. You see that, and do second floor for more intricate cabinet. Then if you really want to push the envelope, you could just grab that and make a handle. But I think I had found a better way to do handles. Questions. Hello, Belladonna. Pleasure to see you tonight. We're working on that humongous castle. When you're building, it's good to like step back and see things from far away. What I even like to do is take screenshots, and then when I go back, I'll just look at the screenshots first, because you see it from a different perspective, and oftentimes I realize I've missed something or done something wrong. So it's good to do so. All right, I like that, right? How do you feel about playing in TaleSpire? I love it. It's been a bit more than 2 years now, and we have a group that met on TaleSpire and continues to play almost every week. It's hard sometimes, like being a grown up and still like trying to find time every week to play with your friends, but basically, I like it. I feel that obviously some stuff are a bit missing at like Fog of War sometimes. Some little like quality of life improvement could be done. But if the development stopped today, I would not be mad. We use a old school roleplay system that does not need a lot of calculations, so our character sheets are very simple. So we can do everything in game. We don't need calculators and stuff like that. And thanks to Belladonna saying that's so cool. I'm pretty happy about that one, to be honest. I think it's one of our better build to date. Do you DM or play? I mostly play. I try my hands at some time at DMing, but I'm not especially good at that. Or I don't have enough practice. Let's say it that way. You know, DMing is a hard craft that you need to work on it to be good. I like it. I like to create my own stories sometimes, so I can iterate on stuff. But I'm definitely not the best. But yeah, I'm mostly a player, and often we play in stuff I've built. Or what I do is that I'm a game master also where I play. Like in TaleSpire, I'm a game master even when I play, because that allows me to build stuff if needed by the game master. Like saying we put fire to a hut, I can just bring the fires and everything while my game master is just doing his best at like impersonating a Viking, or I don't know. I'm setting up for my first homebrew campaign and only being a player in my group as rotate DMs. Well, I think being a game master, a dungeon master, is a very good experience that everyone should try at least once, because it teaches you humility and how much you should appreciate your game master for all the work he does, and how much it's hard to control man-child. So that's that. Oh, let me close the window. Already see mustics going in, but okay, it's too late. All right, so now I'm gonna put. I think it's the captain, so I want to put books, but I want to also put stuff like lost and found stuff, you know. So yes, it's books like that, but perhaps have. So if you want to do an orb, just a bowl or something like that, you can use that from the crafting set. And you need to be careful to how much you put it deep into the floor, but it can be nice to put like that. It makes for an interesting object, right? I'm sitting in. Looking good, Istallri. Thank you, Genghis. Pleasure to have you on stream. So Genghis, for example, is one of the best TaleSpire builder you can find out there. Go check out his channel and go check out his content. Like absolutely, you need to check it. It's very good. And now I just need to hide, like this stuff, like the. So I'm just gonna probably put a crate or something like that in there. Hody came in alpha through the game master discussion, but I found Oracle let solo play like Ironsworn. I have no idea what you're saying about Oracle and Ironsworn. Sorry. It's probably a dedicated game systems, right? We let each other know how much we appreciate their hard work. We try to behave in their role and role play as much as possible. Yeah, it's just role playing is being, it's just listening to other people and being fair. You know, you get to have your fun and you get to let people have their fun too. My thanks, but thinks you're the best. Thank you, Genghis. I don't think there is the best. Everyone has a style, which is good. But I know I'm good. But you too, mate. You're really good. The stuff inspired me to start up TaleSpire. All I've built is one giant arena of doom, but it's great fun. Hello, Shelby Green. It's a pleasure to have you on stream. And you know, if I just inspired you to do one thing, it's already great, because now you've built it by yourself, and you just can only get better. You know, you just to need to practice. Practice makes perfect, and the most important is just to be happy with what you've made. Do it. It's not going to be perfect on the first try, but still love it. You gotta own what you're making. But do send me the slab. I'd be happy to have a look at it if you're interested. I don't really do reviews, but that could be interesting. Like if people want to send me their slabs, I can check them and have a look at them. Could be interesting, right? So you can also do helmets with the statue. Like you can put it right there. You see, it's sticking out a bit too much from me, but let's say the body would be hidden. You could just have a helmet like that. Actually, that works quite well. Like it's a paper holder. Would you? Not sure. Put a stack of paper right there. Which, yeah, but then I need to hide it a bit better. Like paper crusher, paper holder. I don't know if it works too well. I think I'm just gonna get it like that. Sure. I'm afraid it's gonna be in the floor a bit too much. I want to, yeah, it's sticking out a bit too much. But that's just an idea you can have. One of your TaleSpire tutorial inspired me a lot. Well, amazing, thank you. I was really trying to make the tutorials approachable, right? It's really hard when someone that has a lot of experience to do stuff like this just tells you, okay, today we're gonna do the biggest castle you've ever seen, and you felt like it's not possible. So I wanted to do something small scale, something like everyone feels like they can do. So if you've achieved that, I'm really happy, and hopefully it leads you to many more adventures in TaleSpire. Can you do that? You have a Discord server, by the way? Yes, I have a Discord server on Beeboobap. I'm not very active. It's mostly I'm posting uh, updates of my builds to my Patreon, stuff like that. But you can definitely get in touch with me and stuff like that. I'm not the best at socials in general. I'm good at making visuals and videos and marketing and stuff like that. But socials by themselves, definitely not the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't know why he would have arrows on top of his cupboards, but let's roll with it. And so can I put it's a bit too big. It would have been fun to, like, we're missing big heads to do like hunting trophies and stuff like that, Well, I could put it on the wall like that. I think it works. And then you just grab a mirror to do the back plate like that. Or we could put it right there, I think. More sense. It's not perfect, but looks like a big creature that someone would have killed, which works to me. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. We created with the clutter pack that we're going to update. By the way, you can find that in the TaleSpire. You find clutter pack, and this is like plenty of stuff you can just copy paste right away. And so we've created all those goodies there because we felt that like pile of coins was a bit missing. So we tried to propose something of our own vision there. You can just grab it like that and paste it directly into your worlds very easily. Probably a bit big, but yeah, I'm gonna trim it down before. I think I just want the small crates. Not perfect, but gonna make do. Then we can just put that. Got me in the mood to build, so I'm building. Yeah, do so. I find it very relaxing. To me, building is really my zen moment. Like hard day, just go build a little bit, and it's gonna get better, right? I have to tune out for now, but it was nice for a couple of chill moments. Yeah, of course, Beladonna, it's been a pleasure. Don't hesitate to watch the recording on the stream. It'll be available on YouTube, so you'll be able to follow through what we're doing tonight. I usually don't stream that long, so I'm gonna definitely. It's been 44 minutes already, so I think I'm gonna stream an hour, like an half an hour more, and it's gonna be okay. So I do short streams. That's disgusting. Oop. Damn, this looks goof. It can look goof, you know, adding cows, but thank you very much. It's a collaborative work with Skarnor, which is also a builder in the community that I work with a lot. And so now that we've done most of the exterior, we're doing room by room. I can show you actually rooms that are fully done. So this is the guard tower. The idea with the guard tower is that seems a bit strong. Is that you have a full first deck that's just like watching stuff and everything, and then you can go up, and you have. Let me change the music actually. Oh yeah, perfect. Listen to the best music ever. All right, tell me if it's too loud. And so there we have the weapons room, salle d'armes in French. So weapons room where you can see that the guards have plenty of stuff to equip themselves. They can hang their shields on the wall there. They can see outside, obviously. You know, it's a defensive castle after all. And like weapon racks, a lot of training stuff like chests and like benches, you know, where you can imagine they get changed and everything. Plenty of weapons there, and so then you go up, and this is their quarters, like chilling room that they can eat and everything. So again, quite martial, but the idea was really to do the guards quarter, and then you go up, and you have a full sleeping area. There's a lot of tiny details that I'm really loving. Like you have a dagger that's actually plugged underneath in like a wooden support beam. I find that so funny. It's like someone is sleeping, just throwing daggers at the roof. So that's that. And so yeah, lot of details. So that's the level of details we do. We have a dove house. I never remember the name. In French, it's pigeonnier. So you know where they have pigeons, and so they can send messages and everything. So as you can see, it's all dirty by the pigeon shit and everything. And then at the bottom, you have also like feeding stuff for the pigeon. You have like papers, so you can send them to the pigeon and everything. So I feel that it's typical medieval stuff that castle have that we've never seen yet in TaleSpire. That I think so. It's good to have. How did you get into D&D? Actually quite late. I've done some stuff when I was in um, it's not college. What's in English? Was I was like around 15. But basically, I just tried with some friends a few times and it was nice. I liked it. I always liked role play games for video games, but I've seriously started it with TaleSpire actually, and I've been doing 2 years of 1 session per week almost since then. So I'm quite new, and I've played twice Dungeon and Dragon 5th edition. I only played homebrew rules for everything else. The weapons look cool in the barrel. Yeah, they do. They're very nice. And so also in a room like that, don't hesitate to leave it roomy. Like make it breeze. Don't be afraid of like putting stuff everywhere and stuff like that. It's not mandatory, and a lot of space actually are empty, and you need space for your players to go in. So don't go over the board. That's what I'm saying. Every time I place a chest, it opens on the wrong side. I'm never knowing it opens correctly. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna add the classic bottle of wine and whiskey that's hidden in the stash of the captain. It's not a captain if he doesn't have like his special whiskey just hidden away. That I'd like an empty glass too, because this one is full and sometimes you just need an empty glass. Like the mug of beer empty would be great too. It's gonna have some cheese too. Where can I put some cheese? Just I like that prop. It's just cheese. Oh yeah, so you started with TaleSpire. That's very nice. I find it, to me, I get bored easily, right? So I try to play on some Roll20 and 2D flat screen stuff, but eventually I just get distracted by something and I'm being a bad player because I'm not paying attention. And so to me, TaleSpire was really a discovery of being able to evaluate in a 3D space that I love, because I'm just a big gamer in the end, and to be able to play with it really easily. Is the sound okay? Is it not too loud? For the music, do you hear it, or pressing same dude as an always put chest down backwards? Oh, all right, yeah. I don't know. The chest, they should have a lock in the front, right? So you know, because I don't think they have any. Oh yeah, I guess like they have a tiny difference on the belt that loops around. There, like they can unlock, and there it's a hinge, but yeah, I'm never gonna remember that, especially when you're playing at this distance. It's quite hard to see like that. Late. What can we add? I'd like to. I just about hear the music. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get it a little bit higher. It's a very chill music by a French creator. His content is amazing and the music is marvelous. His name is Alt 236. The album is called Leviathan. Leviathan, like the big serpent. Yeah, if you can listen to it on your own time, I highly suggest that you do, because it's just that great. Small gate, like to prevent people from coming to the private quarters there. So you see a nice little office, a lot of details and stuff like that, and then the idea is to add a bit more proofs of life, like someone has been eating at the window perhaps, so you can just bring a little basket like that. I don't know what it is. It's onions. Yeah, perhaps not onions. I really like because it's a small basket, but it's quite hard to place. elsewhere than in a kitchen. That. Could you write the album artist in chat? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Sorry, my English not good for pronouncing specific artists. So Alt 236, Leviathan is the name of the artist and then of the album. Very nice watching you. I'm legging it now. Until next time, a great be my friends. Thank you, Genghis. I've a very great time, very good time, my friend. So I want to put some details there. Okay, just like you see a little bit like that. It's an item that's a bit different, and I like that. It's like just someone left a basket or of berries there. It's important to create stories in your places, I find. So it's a bit gloomy, but castles are often gloomy anyway. But could we add more lights to it to even that out? Thank you, Pedro. Pleasure to have you. Great stream. I'm not sure, but I'll gladly take it. And yeah, learning languages gets better the more you learn them, but pronunciation, especially, like, I'm a bit tired and everything, so goes down fast. I'm just gonna say that. Now I'm just gonna bring perhaps a barrel. I found that the standing barrel is so much bigger than the one that are like that. It's very bizarre. Like, size of the barrels is very inconsistent in TaleSpire overall anyway. I'm gonna show that to you just after. Like, if you take this barrel right there, and then you see this one, and then there's actually a third one that is in the harbor dome. Yeah, that one. So actually you have barrels of 3 different sizes. And they're all the same, just scaled differently. I'm from Brazil and I can understand your English pretty well. Well, I don't know how to speak Portuguese, but very happy to see you from Brazil, my friend. It's definitely a country I want to visit someday. It seems very beautiful. So yeah, it's a bit of an issue to me. I would love to have those big barrels, even bigger, you know, to do wine barrels. We call them foudre in French. The foudre of wine are the very big, I think it's 2,000 liters, like aging barrels for wine. And they're bigger than a man, like they're 2 meters, probably bigger than that. So that would be amazing. And like just having all those barrels up, down on different size. But you gotta make do with what you have. Alright, so any idea on what we could add to this nice little room? The captain's quarter, office, maybe more armor and weapons. That and we're just gonna grab crate. So again, with the floor, you want to create contrast. So it's good to have crates of stuff that are different color from your ground to just create contrast, and visually it's more pleasing. When you cannot, you can just that. And so if you feel that that armor is missing a piece, you can just rotate it and paste it again, and now boom, you have a full armor that's looking just a little bit better. And perhaps you could try to enhance it, put a sparkly detail. Like he has a toot. Does that work on on stream? Yeah, I should probably not show that. but I would like to have a golden detail. All right, so a good thing to see if the room you've done is working nicely, right, is to go into photo mode. You take a field of view of around 60, which it's not a human eye, but it works quite well. And then you just have to set up the focus distance better than what I did, and set it to the max, and then you just find a nice angle. Try to make a pretty little screenshot like that. Always try to play with the sun. Like I like to have the sun just hitting my windows a little bit like that. Make exposure nice. Then it's just taking your time to place the camera and have the depths of field correctly aligned. The point of interest, like the table like that. Yet, configuration. In interiors, I like to use the warm setting. Makes it more like it's being lit by the lights and everything. Enchanted works well too. I really like that setting. And so there, I'm just gonna, and make sure to, when you're doing screenshot, that you're using TAA for the temporal anti-aliasing. It works better in static scenes. If you're not recording movement, TAA is the best. Otherwise, just leave it by default. So, and then, so I like this room. And then what we can do is also a default shot. Oh, sorry. And that was the normal way to see stuff. It's just important to watch out for your spaces, the way people would look at them, and not to be too taken into your building role. Like, watch a scene from up close and try to see how players will interact and evolve in that space. Because if the camera is too much of a problem to handle, people are not going to get a nice experience, right? So you need to watch that out. And then it's just framing your camera correctly. That's Alright, and screenshot. I try making short, since that's where you have to fight the camera at times. Yeah, if you try to watch my like trailers I do in TaleSpire, it's all done by hand and it's very complicated. And indeed, the camera tools they use for trailers, they said at some point that they wanted to release them, but they were still too much in a rough stage. So hopefully one day I would be so happy to do like really nice panning movement of the camera. And I'm used to it, right? I can do pretty nice stuff and move it quite smoothly around without posing too much. But having real tools would be great. And I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing with the camera tools. But yeah, it would be amazing to be able to use that like that. Maybe a bench, like if you're waiting to be, like if you're a guard that's waiting for the captain to come back so he can just fire you because you were just a bit lazy and everything, like benches could be nice. I don't know. I like that too much. It not makes a lot of sense to put it anywhere else, but in front of the, well, no bench. People will have to stand up. All right. Well, I think we have a nice little room there. So here I want to add more contrast to it. You know, it's even in the dark, it's a bit one tone, and so adding contrast helps the eye and people see things better. I'm just gonna add this wooden beam that's lighter in color. So makes it so that people are able to see all the details easily. Making sure it's all properly aligned. And so now when I'm removing that, you see there's already a bit more details on this lane right there. There's a bit more details and it looks a bit better. I could do the same just above by making sure it's not going out, yeah, on the other side. That. Okay. And then I could go all around it. Would be interesting to do so. In some rooms I've done it. Looks quite nice. Alright, but I'm afraid people will not sit, or maybe I could do it there. Sit on the other side, no you can't. I love to do that in rooms, helps a lot with feeling that it's a real architecture, right? So just gonna drop those down a little bit. Now you have like a lot more. You see, it like completes the room to me. I don't know if it's working for you, but to me it looks way better to have added those wooden support beams right there. So just make the room more complete to me. And then because we've done it everywhere, you can just try to make it nice, just where you can. It's not working, but it's not working. It's just not gonna work where I want to place it, but it's not a big trouble. And then you can work on adding more contrast to the angles again to make it shine a little bit more, not shine, but to make it more visible. Do that, and that corner, do that too, and that corner we're gonna do same here, same here, same here. And there we already have the wood helping us. There the window is quite nice to see. Maybe you could put something there. Yeah, we've put it outside, so would look nice if it's matching like that. So now I have a space that's a bit more defined in the angles and everything, that has some wood supports. It looks a bit nicer to look at, and it looks full, right? And it does not mean it does not have any empty spaces, it just looks full to the eye and like an interesting space. And so, yes, a bit of tips for you. All right, so I see attendance dropping off a little bit, and myself, I'm getting more and more slurry is my speech. So it's going to be a good place to stop the stream there. I'm going to leave you with a nice view of the castle. I can actually go back a little. I can set it a bit nicer for you guys. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Man, impressive work as usual, I see. Thank you very much, Big Edo. Well, next time, just go at your own pace and have dreams. I'm just, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, basically, that's the state of today. Actually, I'm going to make the screenshot of the thumbnail, so I just need a bit more light. I'm going to drop down the fog. That, and yeah, perfect. So gonna take a screenshot, perfect, leave it there. Thank you everyone for your time today. You can find the recording of this session directly on my YouTube channel just right now, and once I've finished just editing all the little tidbits and details about it. Hopefully I'll be able to stream a third time before it's released, because we're gonna need to do ground work, terrain work around the castle to make it a bit more interesting to play with, and should be available at some point, right? gonna take a bit of vacation next week, so I'm not gonna be there. And we're discussing actually making variation of the castle. So if you're interested in having that castle being ruins, for example, or being destroyed, or being in a different season, like snow castle, stuff like that, we're gonna think about it. But because once it's done, it's not that much work to just swap it and or destroy it or do variations of it. But we'll see. All right, I need to fade myself out. We do that like that. Perfect. Then I close my microphone. I bid you a good night, a good day, and above all, stay creative, my friends.